Senate File 225, Sunday, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day liquor sales authorization. Senator Reinert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also have no pretense we're going to include this issue in an omnibus bill, but I appreciate the opportunity to have this courtesy hearing. Nor, Mr. Chairman, would I encourage us to do so. It's a big change in state policy and historic state traditions. So while I believe pretty strongly in this, and we've worked on this issue before, I think it's one we'll want to have stand on its own. Members, this is an extremely lengthy bill. I think we have 5 lines of text to it. What it would do is allow Minnesota to join the other now 38 states in the union that allow liquor stores to be open on Sundays. I stress the word allow. Nothing in this bill would require a store to be open. Nothing in this bill would require anyone to make a purchase. Stores in Minnesota, their dominant demographic is between the ages of 25 and 50. And what we know from consumer research is that those folks do almost all their shopping on the weekend. I think all of us understand that anecdotally. Jobs, kids, activities keep you busy during the week. On the weekend, those sales are almost 2 to 1 Sunday over Saturday. Now, there are a lot of issues about this, and there are some organized folks in opposition, including many liquor stores themselves, especially the smaller ones. The Teamsters are also opposed, and we've spoken several times on that. But members, at the end of the list of issues of people who are opposed to this change is we don't want to work on Sunday. And I get that. I think that's probably true of most people. But the reality is that not every restaurant is open 24/7, some are. Not every grocery store is open 24/7, some are. If you are successful in running your business, you can come up with a model that is a successful model for you. And it doesn't involve us telling you when you can be open and when you have to be closed. So I've invited one person, Mr. Chair, to speak on this issue, Jason Alvey. Those of us who've served on Commerce before know Jason. He actually was successful in getting a law changed because of his unique business. And then I'm sure, Mr. Chair, there are folks that want to speak against. So
you're welcome to the committee.
Thank you, Senator Reinhardt. Chairperson Metzen, committee members. My name is Jason Alvey. I'm the owner of an off-sale liquor store called the Four Firkins in St. Louis Park, and I would like to open my store on a Sunday. Every poll taken shows 60 to 70% of Minnesotans would like the convenience of shopping for alcohol on a Sunday. It doesn't matter if they are Republican or Democrat. Your constituents, my customers, want this convenience. In fact, I have a stack of documents here showing this. This was compiled by the Minnesota Beer Activists, which is a consumer group. So that's here for you. It is the year 2013, yet I pay rent 52 days a year that I'm not allowed to open my business. And I think that's very frustrating. As you know, the opposition is coming from other liquor stores and their lobbying groups. Just because the majority of liquor stores don't want to be open on a Sunday does not mean it should be a law. The opposition will tell you that if you simply spread 6 days of trading, or that it will simply spread 6 days of trading over 7 days. This is not true. Impulse purchasing on a Sunday will increase overall revenue. Sunday is one of the busiest shopping days of the week. Imagine how displeased Target would be if you all of a sudden told them they couldn't open on a Sunday. If a liquor store owner does not want to be open 7 days a week, then why not take advantage of the impulse purchases that you would get on a Sunday and simply close on a Monday like the restaurants do? It should be my decision as a business owner, just like it is for every other retailer. The opposition will tell you that if liquor stores open on a Sunday, this will automatically lead to beer and wine in the aisles at the grocery stores. That would put many small business or small liquor stores out of business. Even the most casual investigation of this claim reveals that that is impossible. As you know, state law doesn't allow the same company to own more than one liquor store per city in Minnesota. That means one Four Firkins in St. Louis Park, and it doesn't matter how many Cub Foods there are in St. Louis Park, only one of them can have a liquor store. That's a state law. If that weren't enough, consider that each city decides how many off-sale licenses it's going to hand out. This number is based on population and demographics. Cities will not simply hand out liquor licenses to every grocery store within its borders. To suggest this shows a complete lack of understanding of the way things work. Keeping this ban in place does not create a competitive business climate. It does the opposite. Let's gain the extra tax revenue. Let's give the people what they want. Let's give progressive retailers like myself the ability to run our businesses how we see fit. I thank you for the opportunity, and I would happily take questions.
Okay. Any questions of the witness? Okay, we have, I have listed Ed Reynosa and Marianne Campo. I believe their opponents. I'm not sure of that, though. Okay, welcome to the committee.
Mr. Chairman, do you know how many you have opposed? Because I've asked all of the...
Two I have up here, and then I see Mr. Magnoli standing there. Are you going to testify or not?
I have many more in favor. If they're
Okay, well, we're just going to hear briefly from the
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
two of them, so it'll be very quick.
No one contacted me, Mr. Chair.
Okay, yeah, they probably should, but that's all right. Here we go.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. This is a very rare day when I take the seat to testify. Generally, I have my clients do that. My name is Marianne Campo. I have been associated with, owned, managed, or related to the management of South Lindale Liquor since 1975. I have something I'd like to pass out. It's just a letter from my son, Daniel Joseph Campo, who is, as of about 5 months ago, entered into a purchase agreement with his father for South Lindale Liquor. So I am here to say that I have been in the business a very, very long time. And the reason we oppose Sunday sales is because we don't feel that it is financially feasible to do. We pay $48,000 a year in property taxes, and we would be happy to have additional revenue. But we see this as no additional revenue and just additional cost, employee cost. And our customers have never asked us for Sunday sales. We are in, I would say, a family neighborhood on 53rd and Lindale Avenue South in southwest Minneapolis. We have the largest wine club in the state of Minnesota. We are the second largest distributor for Surly beer in the state of Minnesota. We do a very big business, and our customers have adjusted, certainly, to the fact that we are closed on Sunday. So we don't see any economic advantage, or we would like to do it. We also wanted to make it very clear and on the record that since 1975, when we had to pledge all our assets except our house to the SBA to open our business, we have never come to the legislature to ask for more. We have been here and have opposed wine in the grocery stores for obvious reasons. Kowalski's is across the street from us. We do understand if you can go in and buy a steak and a bottle of wine, you didn't come to our store, and that we're landlocked. We have never opposed Lund's, Byerly's, or Cub from opening up adjacent stores where they have a separate entrance. So we knew the rules when we came into the business. We are a border store. We border Richfield and Edina Municipal. And in Richfield Municipal is located 9 blocks from us. When we borrowed money and we went into business, it was extremely clear to us that we were a border store. So we don't complain about being on the border. The borders have never changed, nor has the border in Duluth ever changed or anywhere. So we just wanted to make it very clear that we understand being a border store, and we would like, we're here to answer any questions you would like.
And we're going to hear, thank you very much. Any questions of Ms. Campo here? We're going to hear from just one more person against that.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, Joe Bagnoli on behalf of the Minnesota Licensed Beverage Association and the Minnesota Municipal Beverage Association. And I'll just say that I think everyone is aware of our opposition. The vast majority of the members are opposed to this, and I just wanted, for time's sake, to add that the Teamsters, as Senator Reinert mentioned, are also opposed. Thank you very much.
Ed, did you, if it's 30 seconds, I mean, Senator Reinert would let you, I'm sure.
Absolutely, Mr.
It's
Chair.
not quite balanced, but that's all right.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Edward Reynoso, I'm the political director for Teamsters Joint Council 32. We represent in excess of 62,000 active and retired Teamsters in the state of Minnesota. We are adamantly opposed to the expansion of liquor sales on Sunday. We've expressed our opposition to this many times. I had sent a letter on behalf of our organization to the chairman, which I hope that will be distributed after this meeting. But for the same reasons as always, we've opposed it because our members have made it very clear they do not want to work on Sundays. Secondly, it's going to expand to a 7th day, which everything that I've seen, every estimate that I've seen, does not expand any more purchasing of the product. It will just spread it over a 7-day period. So with all due respect, I disagree with the prior testimony, and again, we are adamantly opposed to the expansion of Sunday sales, liquor sales in the state of Minnesota. Thank you.
Senator, did you have a question?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Senator Reinert, have we explored at all the impact on some of the small town liquor stores? I think that's where I see the biggest difficulty, because a lot of those guys are barely making it, and if they have to add an extra day and pay extra employee expense, their profit margin, I don't see increasing. I'm just wondering if you've thought through that part of this issue.
Mr. Chair.
Senator Reinert.
There's no have to, Senator Gazelka. There's no have to. I mean, that's the flaw in the previous testimony, not Mr. Reynoso's, but Ms. Campos. You do not have to. If your customers are not asking for it, don't be open. Now, if you're afraid of the market and that someone else will see that opportunity, that's a different argument. But I would guess, Senator Gazelka, in most small towns where you have one store, that's not going to be an issue. The store is going to be able to continue to run the way it's used to running, and if consumers aren't asking for it, they're not going to be open. Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
With all due respect, we totally disagree. Number one, if you don't open up for the 7th day and your competitors do, there goes your customer base. Secondly, you're absolutely right, Senator Gazelka. The fact is that municipal liquor stores are even operating at a thinner margin of profit. Force them to open that 7th day, it will impact our communities on a different level. So that's another one of our concerns. Thank you.
Okay. Very good. We'll take this under
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
advisement. Next bill, it's...
Object on that?
you can, but sit down and identify yourself for the tape.
My name is Gary Hummel, and this is my dog, Itty Bitty. I lost my daughter to a drunk driver, and I don't think the revenue outweighs life in this state. I think it's 22 or 23 people per 10,000 who are killed in the state of Minnesota. And so I'm opposing the open Sundays.
Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. You're always welcome. You know that.
Thank you very much.
Minnesota Senate.